It is a record-breaking weekend this weekend here in the north of Italy, the biggest event in the 17-year history of WSK promotion. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to round 2 of the 2022 WSK Supermasters Series as we welcome 351 drivers from 55 nations all around the world. We have raced since Friday morning. We raced 18 heats on Friday. We raced 28 yesterday, 8 pre-finals this morning, and in a few moments, the first of our 4 finals here this afternoon. That is for OK with Tuukka Tappinen in 2:01, the Tony Kart driver, to start on pole position. Before we do race the first of our 4 finals, let's find out how he got there. Lucio won the first round of the championship 2 weeks ago. The factory Tony Kart racing team driver on debut took victory 2 weeks ago and is hoping to go 2 weeks in a row here this afternoon. The fastest qualifier 2 weeks ago was Matheus Ferreira, and he was the fastest in time qualifying, lapping the 1.2 kilometre circuit in a time of 45.989 seconds. The Tony Kart drivers dominated the heat racing as we raced into the night under lights last night. And at the end of the pre-finals this morning, Tuukka Tappinen and the round 1 winner, Luigi Coluccio, lock out the front row of the grid. There are 36 karts down on the circuit. A cool circuit, but it is thankfully warmer than it was 2 weeks ago. You just got a glimpse of the snow-capped peak, which is the 2.2 kilometre high Monte Baldo, which towers over Lago di Garda north of Desenzano, approximately halfway between Venice and Milan in the north of Italy. There are the OK karts down on the circuit. To the right of your screen, 2:01, Tuukka Tappinen, 2:02 to the left, Luigi Coluccio, that is Tuukka, the reigning world champion for the green team. In fact, they're 1, 2, 3 on the grid. Joseph Turney, who took a brilliant, intelligent victory in the pre-final this morning on the second row of the grid alongside Kin Nakamura Berta. We'll take a look at the grid for you in just a moment. All 36 karts. Round 1, 2 weeks ago, Coluccio took the victory from Freddie Slater and Gustav Wisniewski. Slater starting on the 4th row of the grid. Wisniewski a little bit further back, but we know how quick the Forza Racing team driver is. The sun is shining. Thankfully, it is a dry circuit. And well, depending on which weather app you use, it tells us we're about 9 degrees Celsius, which is about 10 degrees more than it was 2 weeks ago for round 1. Just a few moments away from the start. We welcome you to, yes, hashtag the centre of the karting universe. South Garda Karting, LONATO in the north of Italy for this record-breaking weekend, just repeating the numbers. 17-year history, the first ever WSK International Series in 2006, won by the late great Jules Bianchi for the Maranello team in KZ2. Valtteri Bottas, he won the Formula A title 17 years ago. As we look at Tuukka Tappinen on pole position, but this weekend we've got 351 drivers, 55 nations from every populated continent in the world here in the north of Italy. Ian Silvestrin with you in commentary as ever for round 2 of the WSK Supermaster Series as you look at 2:02, Luigi Coluccio. The green team, 1, 2, 3 on the grid. Round 2 of 4, the 2022 WSK Supermaster Series. The green team wait for the green flag here at LONATO. It flies and the karts are pushed into life. And with that, we'll take a look at the grid. Tappinen on pole position, 2:01, alongside Coluccio. Second row of the grid, Joseph Turney, 2:03. He's alongside last year's junior world champ, Kin Nakamura Berta. The Jamaican sensation, Alex Powell out of 5, Severukin out of 6. Deligny, Freddie Slater, and Ian, the Oakman Eichmans, the Belgian, is alongside the American James Agazzi. Maxim Orlov and the fastest qualifier, Matheus Ferreira, on the 6th row of the grid. Another Russian, Maximilian Popov. from Sochi. He's alongside Luka Samalisto, Pashovic, Bertuka for the Burilat Racing team. David Walter, Zachary David, Menu Croatia for Ward Racing, alongside his teammate, also from Sweden. That is the team from Sweden of Joachim Ward. It is Oscar Pedersen. Verholancev, Wisniewski, there he is back on 22. De Paulo, Rintaro Sato keeps it from Grimsby in England out of 25, alongside the Emirati, Rashid Al-Deheri. Keanu Bloom, Nicola Lecorte, Maxim Ram, Marcus Delic, Nathan Sharp, Bruno Mulders on debut in WSK, Akshay Bora, Kevin Lantinga, Francesco Marenghi, and Emma Felbermeyer starts out of grid 36. Desperately trying to warm the tyres is Tuukka Tappinen, 201. Centre of your screen. He'll be to the right in just a moment. Coluccio, 202, will be on your left. Down through the chicane. Tuukka Tappinen, a slow pace for the Finn on pole position. The 21-lap final, Tuukka Tappinen leads them up to the line, and we race. Luigi Coluccio from the outside of the front row of the grid has missed the start badly. You know that's Joseph, who's just shot up into second place as one of the KRs slow with a problem in turn one. Alex Powell rockets up into third place. The Argenti Motorsport driver in amongst the Tony Karts, who run 1-2 in the opening stages of the final here this afternoon. Tappinen runs slightly wide as Alex Powell comes down the hill in third place. There's Tony Karts 1, 2, 4 and 5. Good start from Artem Severukian. Looking for Coluccio as well, who has missed the start. That's him back in position 4, just ahead of Severukian. Not a good start from Kin Nakamura Berta, as Tuukka Tappinen leads them across the line for the first time. Joseph in second. Jet gets airborne as he turns in, so the karts are gripped up already. A clean start for the final here this afternoon. Powell, Coluccio, the round 1 winner, ahead of Severukian, Freddie Slater, Agozzi, the Oakman, P8 for Header, the fastest qualifier 9, and Christian Bertuka, who has been lightning quick throughout the heats, rounds out the 10. Just in the background, you got a glimpse of Rintaro Sato and Emma Felbermeyer coming together. Sato is out, Keanu Bloom is out, and Emma, after having a brilliant run this weekend, the Austrian, the girl from north of the border, she's mixed it with the best all weekend, but she's retired at the end of the second lap. Tappinen, Turney, Powell. Alex with Coluccio, the round 1 winner, right behind him, right down the inside. Coluccio goes through and takes position 3. The abandoned kart of Emma Felbermeyer to the right of your screen, she's out. Tappinen leads, Turney P2, and once again, it is a Tony Kart Racing Team 1, 2 and 3 here on the home circuit. The kid from the Caribbean for Argenti Motorsport runs position 4 in the Kart Republic. Back to Artem Severukian. Freddie Slater for Ricky Flynn Motorsport, P2 on the podium in the opening round of the series. He's in 6th ahead of James Agozzi, then Ian Eichmann's Bertuka. He's gone by into P9. Powell down the inside, splits the green team. And the cool kid from the Caribbean goes back to position 3. Tappinen, Coluccio, we're up to racing speed, up to racing temperature, and the green team run 1-2. We'll keep an eye on the virtual championship throughout the course of the afternoon as Powell desperately has to defend from Joseph Turney. Skates under brakes does the Englishman. Up the inside, takes Powell, but Alex closes the door. They're both losing time. They're all losing time, including Artem Severukian. Freddie Slater, Ian Eichmann's is not far behind as well. Here comes the Oakman trying to drag himself into the battle. There he is. Severukian on the inside goes through to P4. Alex with clear space in P3. There's Ian Eichmann's with Christian Bertuka getting the run on the Belgium as they come up the straight to start lap 5. Tappinen, Coluccio with the fastest lap of the race, looking to go 2 weeks in a row. As they fight, they've lost time. Alex has broken clear. Bertuka down the inside, and Freddie Slater says, no, you don't. And now Bertuka is going to be vulnerable to Ian Eichmann's. There's Severukian, P4, the 222. Ward Racing Tony Kart down the hill. Only Alex Powell is taking the fight up to the team from Prevale. So Tappanen 201 with Coluccio behind him 202. Took a faultless, perfect, brilliant victory in round 1 of the WSK Supermaster Series. He's in second behind his teammate. He's just done the fastest lap of the race as Bertuca runs wide. He's in the grass, does not lift, and he gets the toe from Freddie Slater. Tappanen, Coluccio, Alex Powell, that's Severukian, Joseph. Back to P5 from Slater. Bertuca, Eichmanns, Ferreira, the fastest qualifier, P9. And Maximilian Popov, the Russian son of a Top Gun, also for Ward Racing in P10. The Tony Kart Racing teammates working together. 201 Tappanen, 202 Luigi Coluccio. And he goes down the inside, but thinks better of it, just waits. He's got the speed, he's gone purple last time round. Purple in the middle sector, despite being balked by his teammate. Will check the gap. Back from Coluccio to Powell. That's ominous because Alex has just gone fastest. A 46.3 versus 46.5 for Tappanen, who's struggling to fend off his teammate. He needs to all let him by for the sake of the team because Alex is on the charge. 1/4 race distance in the OK final here this afternoon. Tuukka Tappanen down the hill, desperately trying to get some momentum. There is Alex Powell in the background. Next round of the championship, incidentally, is at La Conca Lecce World Circuit on March the 6th, where Alex won 12 months ago. Round 3 of the Supermaster Series, albeit that was in OK Junior. P3, a forgettable run in the first round of the championship 2 weeks ago for the Mercedes AMG back junior. And he's just gone fastest again, a 46.227 for Alex Powell. A 1/10 of a second faster than the green machines in front. He's catching them, and he's dropping off Artem Severukian behind. Bertuca and Eichmanns have just come together. The Italian and the Belgian have retired. That's why the field is spreading out as they come down the hill. So Freddie Slater behind Joseph Turney, Maximilian Popov, James Agozzi, Enzo Deligny, and Matheus Ferreira, the fastest qualifier 2 weeks ago for the first round of the series. The boy from Brasilia in Brazil in position 10. Maxim Orloff behind Luca Samalesto, Kim Nakamura-Berta. It's not going right for the English-born Japanese driver, the 206 Kart Republic of the reigning junior world champion, outside the top 10. Head of Menu Croatia, the Great Dane, David Walter. As we see Enzo Deligny now start to wind up. The 223 Paralin, 46 dead. He's back in P9, ahead of Ferreira, behind James Agozzi from Florida, USA, the WSK Open Cup champion. As you see Coluccio throw it over the ripple strip. A big correction for the Italian to try and get the perfect line consistently lap after lap. It's a challenge, particularly when they've been at the track since Wednesday. Fatigue is starting to set in. Coluccio knows he made the slightest error there. Turns in tight down into turns 1 and 2. As again, Enzo Deligny now goes 45.878. Deligny in the Paralin is faster than the leaders, but he's 6.2 seconds behind Tuukka Tappanen as we approach half race distance. Down the hill, Alex Powell just 0.8 of a second behind Coluccio. So the green team run 1-2, but Alex is catching. As we mentioned a few moments ago, a forgettable first round for the kid from the Caribbean. But he's been in great form this weekend. He runs position 3. Started the year not in his home nation of Jamaica, but it was actually at the Roura circuit in the very cold, grey, wet north of England, doing lap after lap with the Argenti Motorsport team. Here on a dry circuit, it's probably not much warmer than it was for Alex up in the north of England in January. But he's in P3, the Mercedes AMG Junior. The gap is down to 0.6 of a second, of 45.837. He's faster. He is faster than the Tony Karts. Half race distance, Powell is on the charge. There's Agozzi going through ahead of Ferreira, Nakamura-Berta, Luca Samalisto, the Sauber of Zachary David, Menu Croatia, and Harley Keeble from the back of the grid. He's up into position 15, just ahead of Akshay Bora, who arrived at the circuit on Tuesday night after testing in genetic cars over in England, racing in the PFI Winter Series 7 days ago. The American-born Singaporean just ahead of the Russian Vladimir Verholantsev. Rashid Al-Daheri, the Emirati, up to 18th from the back of the grid. Wisniewski, a podium 2 weeks ago, but the pole is back in 20th place. He will not repeat that feat this afternoon. Down through the chicane, the gap is 4/10 of a second. You can see he's caught the round one winner, Luigi Coluccio, and Tuukka Tappinen. It took some time for the 201 to come good, but he's made a bit of a break on his teammate as we see Deligny make the move on Popov in the background. Fastest lap after fastest lap for the French-Chinese American driver Enzo Deligny. He's up into P7. He goes by Popov. Agozzi, P9. And Matias Ferreira still rounds out the 10. The fastest qualifier has been super quick over 1 lap, but will miss the podium this afternoon. We've passed half race distance, and Matias Ferreira is 6.9 seconds off the race lead on your screen. Tuukka Tappinen, he'll get breathing space because Alex is about to catch and make a move for second place on the round one winner, Luigi Coluccio, possibly as soon as the very next corner. Gets the run, accelerates too far back this time. He's eyeing off Tuukka Tappinen as well. 8 laps now remaining. The OK final, round 2 of the WSK Supermaster Series. Alex Powell right behind Coluccio. Now he is close enough down into the pit hairpin. The track is 10 metres wide, but Coluccio, he will not be intimidated. Also the WSK Open Cup champion is Coluccio. We race at his home circuit the next round of the series. Down into the chicane, there's an opportunity. Puts it slightly in the way of Alex Powell, who says no problem. He takes a very wide entry, turns in, he's got the extra few engine RPM. Too far back this time. 7 laps remaining, Tuukka is racing away. Move down the inside, the Jamaican sensation has gone through to split the Tony Kart Racing team drivers. Powell in P2, Coluccio, the round one winner, back to third. Tuukka Tappinen 8/10 of a second, not over his teammate anymore, but the cool kid from the Caribbean for Argenti Motorsport. That is Alex Powell in the 207. Argenti Motorsport, Kart Republic. The Tony Kart Racer RR401, newly homologated chassis. They run 1 and 3. It is freezing cold, but the track is gripped up. Many of the teams, we had a look at them on the grid throughout free practice. The third bearing is loose or has even in some cases been removed on some of these karts. We won't tell you exactly which one. We'll just enjoy the race as Powell pulls away from Coluccio. At this stage, Luigi will not win here this afternoon for the second week in a row. Tuukka Tappinen with the race lead and holds a virtual lead in the championship. 156 points to 136 over Coluccio, going into round 3 of the championship at La Conca Murolacese on March the 6th. Slides down into the chicane. Spectacular to watch for Alex Powell. The gap is now almost a second back to Coluccio as we lose Joseph Turney and Matias Ferreira. So Tuukka and Luigi's teammate, Joseph, has come together with the fastest qualifier. The Brit and the Brazilian are both out. That's why the field has spread out. Severukin has gone through to P4 for Ward Racing. Slater, P2 2 weeks ago. He's in P5 for RFM Deligny. Agozzi, Popov, Nakamura Berta, and now Lucas Amalisto, the Finn, up into P10. Last time round, Alex Powell with a 46.002. Tuukka Tappinen with a 46.061. We're talking centimetres in track difference between the Finn and the Jamaican. Coluccio in P3 has got 4 laps now to remount an attack and go 2 weeks in a row. But to be perfectly frank, that looks unlikely. That is Coluccio down into turn 1 and 2. Tries to keep the 202 Tony Kart Racer as straight as possible. His teammate, 6/10 of a second. It's looking good for Tuukka. Remember, he was under attack from his teammate Coluccio, who thought better of making an early move. Tappin and the Carters come on strong later in the race. Alex Powell slides down into the old turn 5 chicane. There is Coluccio. He's now half a second more so. In fact, almost 7/10 behind Alex Powell, and Tuukka Tappinen a second ahead of his teammate. 3 laps now remaining. This is a nail-biting finish. Head down behind the steering wheel, does not lift down into turn 1 and 2. Alex Powell rides the bumps, trying desperately to catch the gap. Exactly 0.6 of a second. He can't do it. He's not bridging the gap. Alex Powell skates under brakes down into the pit hairpin. It is Finland, position 1, Jamaica, position 2, and Italia, position 3 at the moment, with 2.5 laps remaining. Severukin, Slater, that's Deligny going through, head of Agotzi, Popov, Ki Nakamura Berta, the English-born Japanese junior world champion, ahead of Lucas Samuelista. Good try from Border, up into P11 from way back on the grid. 2 laps now remaining. Akshay Bora may well break into the top 10. He's done a great job, as we say. He's had a very busy fortnight, and spare a thought for his hard-working coach and mechanic, Harrison Thomas, who has worked brilliantly to drag the 208 Kart Republic from the back of the grid. He's engineered it perfectly. Bora now in position 11 from grid 33. The gap is still 0.6 of a second. He can't do it. The last lap board next time round. Alex Powell driving the wheels off the Kart Republic. He's got green karts ahead, green karts behind. The Argenti Motorsport Kart Republic in second place. You see the inside rear skip off the deck for Tuukka as he gets the last lap board, looks over his shoulder, head down behind the steering wheel. The reigning world champion flat down through turns 1 and 2. The gap, he's taken 1/10 out of him, has Alex Powell. Skates under brakes into the pit hairpin, but at this stage won't do it unless a catastrophe befalls the Finn, who started from pole position. He was under pressure early in the race. He looks as though he will take the victory down through the chicane. 3 corners to race. Powell driving as hard as he possibly can. Every inch of the racetrack, too little, too late. Tuukka Tappinen, the Super Finn, does take the win in round 2 of the WSK Supermaster Series. The Jamaican home in P2. And Luigi Coluccio, another podium. It's not the top step, but with that, he is in second place in the championship, heading into his home race. That is round 3 of the Supermaster Series at La Conca Murolacese on March the 6th. Severukin, superb, was the ration for Ward Racing. The 222 Tony Kart comes across the line in P4, just misses the podium, and Freddie Slater in P5. Tuukka Tappinen started from pole position as we take a look at the highlights of the OK final here. Joseph Turney, as ever, has he ever missed a start? Joseph just shot up into second place in 2:03. Briefly, it was the Tony Kart Racing team first, second and third. Alex Powell says, not quite, boys. He picked them off, first going by Turney. Had to fight for it with the Englishman. Also, Artem Severukin getting involved. And then Alex would ultimately get by and catch Luigi Coluccio as well. Luigi thought about making a move for the lead, got on the brakes early. Tuukka was under pressure, but the kart came good. The 201 racer withstood the pressure from Powell and his teammate. Powell drove brilliantly, but it was not enough. Coluccio home in third place. Powell second, but Tuukka Tappinen has taken a brilliant victory. He is now the championship leader going into La Conca Murolacese. He wins the race by 0.54 of a second. We'll call it half a second. The Finn from the Jamaican and the Italian Luigi in third. Tappinen wins round 2 of the WSK Supermaster Series for the Tony Kart Racing team. Severukin 4, Slater P5 and 4th in the series now. Deligny, and it was Igozzi, Max Popov, Ki Nakamura Berta, and Lucas Samuelisto in 10th place again. A brilliant drive from Akshay from grid 33 to drag the 208 Kart Republic home in 11th place. We'll check the championship as well. I can tell you that Tuukka Tappinen, 156 points, has now got the championship lead over Luigi Coluccio on 136, and Alex Powell moves into third in the series on 85, head of Slater on 77, Turney on 75, then it's Severukin, Ki Nakamura and Enzo Dellini, 8th going into La Conca. In a few weeks' time, he's on 50 points. Tuukka Tappinen, a deserving winner of round 2 of the Supermasters Series. Stay with us on WSK.it, the podium presentation for OK, the final, in just a moment. Here this afternoon for the OK final. It was a nail-biting victory, but in the end it was a well-deserved victory for the Finn. We'll welcome Tuukka to the top step in just a moment. He won round 1 though 2 weeks ago. He's now second in the series. Another great drive here, third this afternoon for the Tony Kart Racing team. It is the Italian Luigi Coluccio. A forgettable round in round 1, but he's bounced back in brilliant fashion. Drove the wheels off the Argenti Motorsport Kart Republic, and he comes home in second place. For Kart Republic, it is the Jamaican sensation, Alex Powell. From pole position, an absolutely brilliant, faultless, perfect drive from Finland for the Tony Kart Racing team. The winner of round 2 of the WSK Supermasters Series, Tuukka Tappinen. The national anthem of Finland. The podium for round 2 of the WSK Supermaster Series. In third place, Luigi Coluccio. Second place, Alex Powell. And the winner of round 2 here at LONATO from Finland, Tuukka Tappinen. Grazie, Luigi. Thank you, Alex. And we'll just get a quick word with Tuukka as he steps down. Tuukka, let's step over here in front of the podium if we can. Tuukka, from pole position, you were under pressure immensely, particularly from your teammate early in the race, but the car came good and you drove perfectly to take victory here in LONATO. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, at the beginning was a bit difficult, but in the end, the car was amazing and I didn't expect that I can win.
You've now got the lead heading into La Conca in a few weeks' time. Your approach as we head to the south of Italy.
Yeah, I will push same like today in the next round.
Thank you and congratulations, Tuukka Tappinen, winner of round 2 of the WSK Supermaster Series. Stay with us on WSK.it, the mini final in just